Yo, what's up? Trying to get my little focus on here. So yeah, peace and blessings. I know I had in the past sent you some more DVDs. I never heard from you or the people that's down there working in that city county building with you. You know, I understand that all of this is on the strange side, bizarre circumstances and all that. So I sent you 3 more DVDs. I ordered them in a sequential pattern that you should observe them. It's in your best interest that you observe them. Take time out to watch them. I don't know if you still been watching my YouTube page. If you was wise, as you should be being the mayor, you would have been. If you have not, it just shows incompetency, that's all. The same incompetency that was demonstrated when you never even thought it was worth even getting back in touch with me. Now, there's a lot of fires going on all over the earth. Controversy of mine speaking it and saying to the whole world what's going on, and the absorption of everyone in the Jesus crap makes the prophet have to go unheard. But if America and the rest of the world doesn't want to understand the bonus of having someone like me out here amongst the masses, and the masses do include you too, if you dichotomize yourself from regular people, it's because you are giving yourself an disadvantage by considering yourself to be untouchable by the sunlight. The masses is not why the sun is upset with the earth, more than it's upset with the people who has misled the masses from the political arenas. That would be you. What I'm saying is you are responsible for the decadence of the world by you being in leadership central, okay? Which brings us to you in Vancouver. Now what you're going to have to understand is that I am an asset to this area. You Europeans have things really messed up in your mind with your foolish collection of melanated people being less than you, when you suffer from a state of melanin recessiveness, which means that if you see melanin as being something that is beneath you and degenerate, it's because you are degenerate in thought. Because see, your circumstance makes you melanin recessive. So if melanin is bad, then how bad could something be that is lacking its melanin? The truth about the matter is that I'm not going to give you a melanin lesson, because I'm sure you being melanin recessive, you already know what melanin is, because it would have been in your best interest to find out why you had the complications with the natural surroundings of nature that you had the complications with. So it would have been a necessary quest of a melanin recessive person to find out why they do not have melanin, more than it would be a request or a quest of a melanated person to find out why they do. See, the advantages that you have in life doesn't have to go challenged. It's the disadvantages that we have to challenge, which brings me to the disadvantages that you Caucasian people have caused for the melanated people who were specified and the original recipients designed to be receiving the life forces that is stolen and hoarded by you Caucasian people all around the planet. The 2 videos outside of the one that you're witnessing and viewing right now that should have been marked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Right now you should be watching one that's marked 1st. This one is the explanatory DVD that I want you to understand as being the most informative one. The next 2 DVDs that you watch is going to explain to you that there is an electromagnetic spectrum around the earth that is here for the sole purpose of eradicating materialism. I've been informed by the sun like that the reason I was introduced to the city of Vancouver years ago was because of the sunlight observing the practices of this region, of this country, as well as every region of the planet, but seeing the necessity to have a negotiator here in this area at the proper time, it set up circumstances for me to arrive in this area years back, approximately, I'd say 23 years back. I stayed here 23 years prior. Back would have been around 1990 to about the year 2000. So I stayed here approximately 10 years. Well, actually not to 2000, because I left here intermittently, going between here and Hawaii. So I would say 8 years easy here in the Vancouver, Portland area. Divided with 4 years in Portland and probably 4 years here in Vancouver. I was a truck driver that drove big truck all over 11 western states, as well as sometimes all over continental USA. But now what I want you to understand is that the universe gave me a positioning status of steadfastness around Vancouver, Washington, and Portland area, just long enough for me to see the extreme racism and go through circumstances of a bad marriage and stuff like that to find a necessity to pull out of this place and leave. Which I did leave, and I stayed away until about 3 years ago when I returned here around 2010 at the end sector of it. I returned here because I was given inclinations and instructions from the sunlight to relocate to this area, as I've been given inclinations from the sunlight to do a lot of things that I must follow, because I found out that it's just really good to obey the sun, because it will not have any other way, being that it is the true sustainer of all things. To be disobedient of it will definitely make you be put under a category of circumstances as to where you will get around to doing what it is necessary to be done. Now, in your case, you were not just mayor because you are wise and fortunate and smart and all that and just privileged. No, what's going on is that anything that anyone is allowed to do in this spectrum of time and space, if you will, is according to the sun allowance of it, which means that all of the bad circumstances that us as a melanated people have gone through at the hands of you Caucasian was deemed necessary by the universe. Otherwise, it would not have happened. So the universe gave your nationalism, your invented nationalism, your not even specified to be on this planet nationalism, a chance to show whether or not you all could adjust and be under the same type of vibration as the designed original people had developed themselves to become, this being the people of the Egyptians and Asia and Tibet and India, as well as all of the Americas, from North America all the way down to Brazil, Argentina, you name it, Bolivia, every place that we know, I'm not going to tell you, have been messed over and just done wrong by you Caucasian people, which has given you the opportunity to present yourselves as government all over the globe. And you guys have proven to the universe that you are not qualified, because see, you are abusive of power, you murder on large scales, genocide, and Holocaust is what you guys have set a pattern of showing longevity of intermittent circumstances of mass murder and theft and deprivation and brainwashings and mental dogma, Christianity, Islam, as well as Judaism. All those religions we all know were made by the people who claim themselves to be Jews to this day now, only to steal the wealth of everyone off the planet and enslave everyone and create all these circumstances of poverty and deprivation and misleading and drug abuse and alcoholism and homosexuality and everything that I know. You've probably been watching my YouTube page, knowing that I have a legitimate right to approach with arrogance and aggressiveness to have eradicated off my template of existence on this planet. Now see, I have come to this planet as an assignment and with an objective. And my objective is to find and eradicate all of the circumstances that has caused the God calibration or the universal intended calibration of this planet has been so destroyed, and it is so saturated and infested with non-desirables and non-fitting energies, okay, and vibrations that has to be destroyed. So now what has happened is the method of destruction that is the pinnacle of all destructing devices is the sun itself, which is diligent at showing you. In the next two videos, I want you to watch the green light. In the background of everything, you can see the green light yourself with your naked eye when you're out and about, and the different challenges and logistic operations of your necessity of movement, okay, your actions of navigating around the centers you navigate around that is synonymous with you accumulating the things that you need to survive. How privileged you are to be able to get at your stuff with ease is based on the fact of your deprivileging me and all of my people as a whole. I can show you history of you guys murdering us, murdering our food sources, killing us, poisoning the water, everything that you have done to make you be the prime suspect to be sucked up into one of these light ships that you all walk around here and try to convince the American public does not exist. But I know deep in your heart you know they do exist, and that's the reason why you should pay very good attention to me when I start explaining to you that these light ships will cause complications with your health, complications with your career, complications with everything that you do not want complications with. You are in a real good position, on the other hand, to receive nothing but straight up prosperity because of the position you're in already, being a position that was only allowed for you to have it. So when opportunity for me to utilize you being in that space arrive, you can get involved with doing the necessary actions of our Supreme Creator. Because see, Bruce Willis and all the other white men of power and prestige all around this planet, like Barack Obama and all of those white men that stand behind him, or the white men who push him out in the front so he can be the scapegoat, the whole conglomerate of all of this earthly privileged infestation of puke, vomit, doubled up with blood and pus, urine and shit that has created these circumstances of failure for me and every other hard-working, God-loving person on this earth have to always be victimized by you guys' contaminated policies of control of this earth, where you are nothing but gangsters, pretty much. You're vampires, gangsters that stagnate everything and suck the life force out of everything and leave everything to the curb, drying and dead. Now, I be doing a lot of stuff. I read books and I follow up what's going on around the earth and everywhere around the whole globe. You guys have small children living in poverty, you know, working children to death in sweatshops all over the planet, moving jobs from American minorities as well as whites to Mexico, and then moving people from Mexico here to America. So you politicians are the most corrupt people that there is, because by you being sworn into office as a mayor and everybody else that's on your immediate team as your help and tutelary to you, all you guys sit up and you want circumstances where you take jobs away from people that have contracts with banks and other loaning institutes that are all established through corruption, because you inflate the price of everything and keep the jobs paying at such a low rate where the average person cannot compete. Then your dissension that you put through the minds of people as you send them through your schools and mess their heads up with all your TV programs, you cause separatism in families